Hello, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The report of how this week's craft show went. So first, let's pop in a little video of when I was leaving this morning. See if I looked a little less wind-blown back then. When am I going to learn? If you're making a video, you have to have the phone off mute. So this is take 2. I am ready to leave for the craft show. It's 7:56, so I wanted to leave at 7:45. Didn't get it that done. Car is all loaded, and here we go. Bye-bye. Okay, so the show started at 10 a.m. It was supposed to go 10 to 3:30. I did not get my first sale until 10:25. I'm starting to get a little discouraged. My friend Joanna, hi Joanna, she always watches my videos. She's such a good friend. It's such fun to do craft shows with her. So where was I? Okay, Joanna sells earrings that she makes, and she had sales even before the show started. She had other vendors coming over and buying her earrings, and she always had a crowd around her table. And I'm just sitting there waiting for my first sale. But at 10:25, someone bought a butter lamb. And then it was almost an hour before my next sale. Someone was going through my box of mini toys that are $8 or 2 for $15. And she saw a Happy Pill. And she said, I just have to have this. So, okay. Table's still not paid for. And then just before noon, someone came along and bought a sunflower, which is a pattern that I sort of pieced together from a couple of other patterns. They work up quickly, so I had them on sale for only $5. So, okay, sold a sunflower. Table still isn't paid for. Then someone came along and bought one of my little Axolotl Finger Puppets. Now that one I know I can put a picture up of. Well, I sell those for $4 each. So, okay, we're getting close. We're up to $23 now. It is noon, 2 hours into the show, and the table is still not paid for. But then about half an hour later, this mom comes along. I hear her little girl just go, oh, Mommy, Mommy, there's a ballerina. I had way up on the top shelf a Ballerina Kitty. She just had to have that. Well, then the mom wanted to let the other 2 girls pick something out too. So by the time she was done, her order came to $60. And I could just see on her face, she was like, oh man, why'd they have to pick such expensive stuff? So I said, let's just make it 50. And she was just so, oh, thank you. So I know, I just gypped myself out of $10. But like I say on Etsy, my goal is to make kids happy without breaking the bank for their parents. So, once in a while, I'll just, knock the price down a bit for a frazzled mom, and that's my good deed for the day. So, yay, the table was finally paid for. Yay. Then I had some other little, I sold a mini penguin, the pattern by Minigurumi. I love that pattern. I want to make more penguins. And another Axolotl Finger Puppet. And then I had found just some tiny little toys, like a little tomato that was about this big, and a little bee that was supposed to go with some other crochet along thing that I made. And there was a strawberry basket and a little carrot. And I'm like, I don't even know what stuffed animals these are supposed to go with anymore. I threw them into my $3 bin. Well, somebody came along and bought this $3 bee. And he paid by Venmo. And I recognized the last name, and I told him, that I graduated with someone with that last name from Iroquois. And he goes, oh, what was her name? I told him. He goes, that's my grandmother. Oh man, that made me feel old. Okay. And then at 1:35, this guy just made a beeline for my table. He was like across the other side, and he took some stuff out, reached into the back of the little bin that I had birds in, and pulls out Puddles the Duck. Let's see if I can get a picture of Puddles the Duck up there. I made Puddles the Duck for a crochet along. Just an adorable little thing. Here you go. Buying this. Yay! And then a mom came along with a little boy. His name was Jude. He's only 5 years old, and he was very shy. But he wanted a snake. He got a rainbow snake. And his mom just thought that Mr. Ugly, my scrap yarn monster, was adorable. So she bought Mr. Ugly too. And later, Jude came back with his grandma, and he was trying to talk his grandmother into buying him it's a cupcake owl, an owl that folds up into a cupcake. Made that for crochet along too. Trying to talk Grandma into letting him have that, and Grandma was like, nope, nope. He had also been trying to get his mom to buy him an octopus, so I pulled out all the little octopus that I had in my minis bin, and I let him pick one for free. So he was very happy then. Then somebody bought my mini Dachshund. I make these little versions of my big Dachshund. Somebody bought that. It's a little guy who's been at the craft show year after year, and he just goes around and he has his parents buy him little stuffed animals. He loves little stuffed animals. Then somebody came along and finished off my Axolotl Finger Puppets. I only had 4 with me, but she bought the last 2. Somehow, with the people rooting through my mini bin, there was a baby Stegosaurus. I'll link the pattern. It's a cute little thing, works up really fast. And I even forgot that was in there. It must have been way down at the bottom, but it rose to the top. She saw it and she goes, look at this little dinosaur. Oh, I've got to have this. I've got to have this. Okay, thank you. And that was at 2:58. And I'm thinking, there's no way, you know, I'm not going to make my $200 goal. But it wasn't the worst show that I've done this year. It's mediocre. And then at 3:07, the show was almost over. A dad came over and bought that crocodile that I made for the Black Hawk show, just in case the mom came back for it. She didn't. So that put me up to $176 in sales. So I didn't quite make the 200, but it was a good day. It was a fun day with Joanna. Her daughter and son-in-law stopped by, and we just had a good time. And you know, it's not bad. I got rid of some old stock and cleaned out on Axolotl Finger Puppets. So I'm going to be making some more of those. My next show is April 22nd. That is a show I've never done before. I've heard good things about it. The different thing about this show is that I will have 2 8-foot tables, so I can really stretch out and have a lot of stuff there. So the breakdown for prices here, I sold 18 total items, and 10, so more than half of those items, were in either the under $5 range or the $5 to $8. So I sold a lot of little stuff. And then in the $9 to $12 range, 3 items. 13 to 19, 2 items. And I sold 3 items that were $20 or higher. So, got another story for you. My husband had told me, it's going to be warm when you leave. Might get a little windy, but you're probably going to be packing up in the rain. Like, okay. I took my coat with a hood, and I took an old plastic tablecloth when I was first doing shows before I got the nice spandex tablecloths. I just had a cheap plastic that I put over the table. Looked pretty cheap, but you know, live and learn. I had that with me so that if I had to bring my stuff out in the rain, I could cover it, because just the way I pack up, there are a number of bins that are open at the top, and I didn't want them to get wet. So around 2:45 or so, there's an announcement over the loudspeaker that the National Weather Service has declared a weather emergency, a severe thunderstorm alert with the possibility of tornadoes, and everyone needs to shelter in place. So they said, please do not pack up early. Students, do not go outside until 3:45 when this is scheduled to end. Everybody just stay inside. And I heard from people who were out in the hallway who went and looked outside that it was raining like crazy. And one woman, her husband was coming to help her pack up and leave, and he said that his car was like pushed sideways across the road into a different lane. So it's like, okay, I'm staying here. Around 3:30 when the show ended, started packing up. So it was around 3:45 when I finally got everything into the boxes and all that. And they made an announcement saying that the severe weather had been called off. Students were free to go out to the cars and help people. So when I went out, clear skies, maybe just a little sprinkling of rain, but close to 60 degrees. By the time I got home, it was so sunny and so nice. But that was a first. It was the first time that I've been at a craft show and had an announcement come in saying, we are in an emergency situation. Nobody leave the building. Okay. So it was a pretty good day. And I've got to work on my finger puppets. Oh, I got a lot of compliments on my shirt. Things I do in my spare time. I research crochet patterns. I buy yarn. I crochet. I talk about yarn. I rearrange yarn. I watch TV shows about crochet. Well, not TV, but YouTube. I think I had about 6 people compliment me on my shirt. There were a lot of crochet stalls there at the show today. And a lot of people were walking around with items that they purchased at other tables. It seemed like a lot of items that were purchased were made with Bernat blanket yarn. Items that got attention on my table but didn't sell. The leggy frogs. Yep, somebody mentioned that one. There's this one woman who was like, oh, I love frogs. Oh, I want one of those. But my birthday is coming up. I'm going to have to hint to my friend. Well, apparently she didn't hint well enough because her friend did not come back and buy her a froggy. The ice cream cones that I made, they got a lot of attention, but neither one of them sold. One mom said, if I got this, I'd probably just cuddle it and sleep with it. Like, okay. I was telling people the crocheted ice cream cones are dairy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, and high fiber. But even with a sales pitch like that, I didn't sell either of them. Maybe next time. What else got attention? I thought that I'd sell out of butter lambs. I only sold one. I did have someone who had come to a previous local show, and she saw a butter lamb that I had set aside for a customer. That was the mall show, and there was the manager of Bath and Body Works who came to the door of her store and said, I can't leave until my break time, but I want a butter lamb. And I showed her all of them, and she had me set one aside for her. Well, this woman came over and she goes, I want that one. I said, I'm sorry, I've set that aside for someone. She goes, well, then make me one just like that, and I'll come to your next show. So I had a number of them that were very similar, but I had run out of that exact shade of yarn, and she wasn't happy with any of them. She said, "You were supposed to make me one exactly like that other one." Sorry, I freehand them. They're all unique, and I can't guarantee that something's going to be exactly the same. So I lost out on a $6 sale. Oh, woe is me. Live and learn. Okay, so I did get an Etsy order for a butter lamb while I was at the show, so I went and grabbed it off the shelf and hid it away. Uh-oh. I have to remember where I hid it so I can get it shipped out. So, all in all, good day. And now I will start to work on my April project list. Since Mr. Ugly sold, it's a good thing. There's the residual from that cold I had a few weeks ago. Since Mr. Ugly sold, it's a good thing I have on my list to replace him in April. I will have to gather up all my little bits of scrap yarn and work on him. So that's the report. Sorry about that. I think I'll go have a cup of hot tea. See you later.